This is going to be a video about the Trump protesters and the Trump supporters. Now, for months and months and months, there's been tons of video footage of Donald Trump protesters who have been harassed, kicked out of his rallies, thrown out of his rallies, even after they paid for them, who have been forcefully removed from his rallies just for speaking up against him. Now, I am aware that speaking out at a political rally is not covered under free speech. That heckling at a political rally is no longer covered under free speech anymore because Obama made that hard to do. That was really smart, Barack. That was good job there. He just gave the greatest enemy to this country an advantage. One of the greatest enemies to this country an advantage. That's congratulations there. This is from my campaign office from when the PA primary was going on. I have a bunch of these. I took a bunch of these home with me when the primary in PA ended. Now, regretfully, I didn't do as much campaigning as I would have liked to because of college and shit like that. But because today is the home stretch. It's now or never, unfortunately. We gotta make calls. We've got to make calls to as many states as possible. The Bernie supporter base has to pull a strong win in. Now, the difference between the divide in the Republican Party, the divide in the Democratic Party, is the divide in the Republican Party is merely an amalgam. Well, to be fair, both parties' divides are merely an amalgamation of years of anger and distrust in the two-party system. Now, the best thing I can hope for is that somehow Bernie gets a huge delegate win and somehow beats out Clinton if he wins all these states, which he probably won't. But what we can do is take this outrage to the Democratic Convention and bring it full circle. We're going to tell the Democratic establishment that we are tired of this bullshit. We are tired of the Democratic Party becoming slaves to the corporate entities. We're tired of the shit Obama's been pulling, Clinton's been pulling, well, both Clintons have been pulling, and we are tired of the Democratic establishment being wimps and losing. Okay? I've been a lifelong Democrat. I've been a Democrat since I was 8 years old. Okay? Granted, that election that happened, the election that happened around then, Bush carried 04, that was a great election to be excited about in retrospect. Oh, God. But that was my first election. And ever since then, I've been considering myself a lifelong Democrat. But it's only been until recently, until the 2014 election, that I called for something like a political revolution. I was sick of the Democrats losing. I was sick of Republicans gaining more ground. I was sick of the right-wing ideologies coming in and corrupting this country that I love. And Bernie Sanders has become that voice of my generation. Yeah, an old Jewish guy is becoming the voice of millennials that we needed. We need him and we deserve him as our president. Unfortunately, he may not win because the system's rigged. The system's rigged against people like Bernie. And because Donald Trump is a fucking pussy and knows that if he debated Bernie Sanders, that he would lose. So what he's relying on now is the Democratic establishment being weak and crippled by this divide in the party. He's trying to make this divide that Bernie Sanders has done negative. He's going to do that. So what we have to do is pull a strong win in California, in New Jersey. We've got to win. We've got to win to show the Democratic establishment that we are tired of this bullshit. and that we will continue to show that we are tired of this bullshit, even if Clinton's the nominee. I've been on and off about this for months. In the general election, would I vote for Jill Stein, or would I vote for Hillary Clinton? I hate Hillary Clinton. I really hate Hillary Clinton. I hate her. I hate what she represents for the Democratic Party. I hate what she's doing in the Democratic Party. I hate how she's becoming the Democratic nominee. I hate the primary election system, but I hate Donald Trump more than I hate Hillary Clinton. Donald Trump scares me. The guy is a complete lunatic. The guy has been dividing this country more and more and more. He's done more damage in the past few months than the Tea Party's done in the past 6 years. And that's crazy. We live in a world where this lunatic fascist can become president. And I can't stand it. So, I got a fucking pocket knife here. Fucking pocket knife. It's like the pocket knife. I'm kidding about the suicide part. I'm not suicidal by any means. Boog. I got this at Comic-Con. This is a prop gun, but if this was a real thing and it was pointing at my fucking head and you had to say to me, you don't pick who you're going to vote for in the general election, I'm going to shoot you in the head. Jill Stein or Hillary Clinton? Hillary Clinton. There. I said it. I will take Hillary Clinton over Donald Trump because the guy is a fucking lunatic. And I hate him. I hate him so much. Okay? I have made video upon video discussing my hatred for Donald Trump. Okay? Even in the general election, I will still talk about the shit Hillary Clinton's done. Even though it may be in vain, quote unquote. Because if she is president of the United States, then I'll criticize her left and right. I will attack her left and right. You may say, well, you voted for her, so why are you criticizing her? Because that is my right as an American citizen to criticize whoever the president is. Hillary Clinton may be corrupt. She may be a crooked politician. Guess what? So are the Republicans. So is Donald fucking Trump. Bernie Sanders is the man I want to be president. Okay? If he can somehow turn around, then the Democrats will have a guaranteed victory. Against Hillary Clinton, I'm not too sure because of that divide that's happened. And the mainstream Democrats want to turn around and say, well, Bernie's got to turn that support and turn it to the fucking Clinton camp. You know what? That's our decision. But I will say this. If you're a Bernie supporter like me, and you think, fuck the establishment. If you're not going to comply to the establishment, if you have more integrity than me, vote Jill Stein. Make third parties matter. I know this is a very contradictory message in the video, but make third parties matter. Vote for Gary Johnson. Vote for Jill Stein. Hell, vote for Gary Johnson because that'll take more votes away from Trump. You want to destroy Trump? Vote for Gary. Or Clinton or Jill Stein. Anybody but Trump. There's someone, I'm going to show you a picture of this fucker's yard sign. Yeah. So that's the person I'm talking about. I want that fucking sign. Sorry for the shaky cam, but I parked my car in a weird spot, so yeah, to format the card I had to fucking do shit, so yeah, that's the sign. Yeah, I agree with that fucking sign at this point. I talked to a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, who said to me that in the general election, he'll vote for Hillary Clinton over Donald Trump. And it was a tough decision. We looked at each other like, yeah, I'm going to vote for Hillary Clinton over Trump. I'll make a second video after the California primary is done. Live long and prosper and have a nice day. But before I go, even though live long and prosper is kind of always my outro to my videos, I would just like to say this to my fellow Bernie supporters. Keep fighting. We'll continue what he started. We have to. We will make the Democratic Party left-wing one way or another. By any means necessary. That's all I gotta say.